Hello and welcome to the Morning Skate Podcast. I am Matt Moody, joined by DJ Mitchell, here for a very, very special day in the DraftKings lobby. Let's get into it.
You're sitting there looking like an idiot.
Well, this is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.
So, DJ, we have $100,000 in the DK lobby on Tuesday. How are you feeling on this fine Monday evening?
Better now that Zach Hyman just scored to win the bet for me. Better now. Yep, just as we speak, Draisaitl to the Nuge. Hyman, right where Hyman always is, taps it on home. Yep, I mean GA already there. DJ gets his Hyman point. Yeah, no, better now than when you started the show. I mean, it's instantly good. Could be better if I got some blocks, but I'm not gonna. The beggars can't be choosers, and I choose to be happy. So let's take our money. Let's move on to Tuesday, and let's put that money into the $25 contest to win a seat in the Florida Live NHL Fantasy Hockey World Championship. Always excited to see this contest. I have been checking periodically. I have one of the 341 tickets. Thought that would be the case on Tuesday. It's not. That contest is filling pretty quickly. It's already 203 out of 941 for the $25, and we are 22 hours from launch. So that will fill early. If you're listening to this in the morning, I suggest if you would like to take a stab at it, you jump in there.
Well, good PSA. Yeah, just what do I say? What do I say? Just another day of losing and a life of losing. Just nothing matters. Just
you've won multiple $100,000 contests, but
yeah, that was years ago, literally multiple of years, and yeah, you don't feel good about yourself when you lose for a year. Anyway, we have 10 games here in front of us. I actually said I was going to do something, and then I didn't do it. So while I quickly throw the lines into, or the teams into the sheet, I don't know. I guess you can talk more, or is there anything news-wise, any other DJ thoughts you would just want to get off your chest here as I rapidly type in all the 10 games on the Tuesday slate?
Yeah, I mean, quickly, I guess. Well, we got 10 games. There's a back-to-back. There's a lot of the anarchy continuing as we push towards the Olympic break, which the last day of games is February 5th. Today is the 26th of recording, 27th tomorrow of the slate. So, there's a couple actual smaller ones coming up, a 3-gamer on, is that Thursday? No, Wednesday. I'm right. 1 game on Friday, 3 games Sunday. So, there's actually some small slates coming up, but most of them are pretty big. Last chances to win it big before the break. We will have some Olympic coverage, I'd say, is the plan right now. But I'll start.
Yeah, we did discuss that actually. That's a good thing to do while I finish this up. Basically, the season pauses next Thursday is the last day of games, which means, the players head to Italy, Friday, Saturday, whatever. We'll probably get some practice. Oh, go ahead.
I said they go to Italy or they go to Mexico.
Okay, the players that we care about for the Olympics go there. And at that point, Saturday, probably Sunday, we should get practices with lineups and whatnot. So over on my newsletter, I'm hoping to publish a Olympic preview for every men's hockey team on Sunday night. And then Monday evening, we're going to do an Olympic preview podcast. So I don't know what will be posted by then as far as bets or DFS or whatever. If you missed it, I think a few shows ago, I did confirm with my rep that they would be posting DFS slates for the Olympics. I don't know how big they'll be because they probably will start in the middle of the night or, early in the morning at the very least, noon.
Yeah.
So 6 a.m. on the East Coast or whatever. So I don't know exactly like what it's going to look like, but I think we will be able to do stuff like that, which obviously I'm very much looking forward to. And if you do subscribe to my newsletter, moods.beehive.com, that'll be over there as well as on Monday evening, an Olympic preview podcast. So,
Yeah.
and then from there, we'll
I'm
play it by year.
optimistic that the slates will be multiple days, maybe. The first slate of action begins on the 11th with Finland and Slovakia, starting at 10:40 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, really? Okay.
Thursday game on the 12th starts at 6:10 Eastern with France and Switzerland. But the first, what?
6:10. Yeah, 6:10 a.m. Duh. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. So it's pretty spread out. Now, USA, almost all their games are at 3:10 p.m. Eastern time. And like 9 o'clock over there, or whatever it is. So that's
okay.
The majority of the USA games, and the Canadian games are a little bit scattered. But yeah, I mean, the slate is up as far as on the sports book. You know what? Here, I'll just share my screen for 2 seconds. I'll just show it. People might be interested, and if you have a chance to, jump in over onto the YouTube channel and you want to follow along, but that is your screen somehow. I'm just going to remove it. Right. This is going great. There we go. Yeah. So we have, a pretty big list of games to get you started. I don't believe there's anything besides alt puck lines. They've added a few. They've been adding things, but no props at this point. But I'm definitely hoping for some props. But a lot to bet on, a lot to look into, and I think that there's probably going to be some edges to be had, but nothing majorly standing out like we did last go around when USA played China and stuff. Anything you want to add to? I don't know, anything.
No, I mean, but I do I'm not just gonna have NHL players. So I have a lot of overseas stats, and I hope to gather in-season stuff for this current year for those smaller teams. So we'll be ready if whatever's offered. Hopefully there's some really sicko type stuff we can get into. But even if it's just the USA showdown slate or whatever, we will at least be prepared for that. So anyway. That's that. That's all coming. I hope you're all looking forward to it as much as we are. And let's get into the Tuesday slate. DJ, you mentioned there's a but I don't even know what you mentioned, the $400,000 total prize pool contest.
Yeah, there was also one of those.
So if you have a Spino ticket, the 360 Spinorama, it's posted in the lobby. 100K to first, 40K to second, 20K to third, 10K to fourth. Fuck you for the rest. It's fine. It's 400K, better than 300K total prizes, so that's fun. And there will be a Wednesday write-up of that contest on my newsletter as well. So if I forget to mention it at the end of the show, make sure you subscribe. moods.beehive.com. That's where the Olympic preview will come. That's where the Spino recap will come. And DJ, take us away with the games.
The games we have are Nashville at the Boston Bruins. Bruins will be on a back-to-back. They did go to the geeky Pasta Lindholm line to much success on Monday, and the game isn't over yet. Game 2, LA, not on a back-to-back as anticipated, as they did not play their game against Columbus. That got moved to Thursday. They go into Detroit, a short hop, skip, and a jump away from Columbus with some bad weather.
Didn't it?
It did? I thought it said we're scheduled for Thursday.
No, I think it's March 9th.
Oh, well, yeah, they play at Buffalo on Thursday, so that'd be tough. I guess unless they do a
split squad.
Okay, I am making shit up. I am saying things that are wrong.
It's going to be the Kings. It's going to be the Kings in Columbus, and it's going to be Brandt Clark in Buffalo, and it's just 5-on-1. Sabres managed to lose. Of course.
Yeah. Let me stop lying to the good people and get back on track here. Utah on a back-to-back in Florida. Vegas going to Montreal. Vegas, I feel like the biggest Jekyll and Hyde team as of late. Go in and just smash Toronto and then get absolutely dummied by Ottawa. Winnipeg at New Jersey in the who is going to make their fans sad bowl. Toronto at home against the Buffalo Sabres. Chicago at Minnesota, Dallas at the St. Louis Blues, Washington at Seattle in a game that is the most important game in the upcoming events for Seattle. And finally, Macklin Celebrini returns to Vancouver to take on the even more banged up and miserable Canucks. So no McDavid, no McKinnon. The most expensive player on the slate is Jack Eichel. Any thoughts to begin the conversation of how to play, who to play, and what to do?
Nothing you want to hear from me, I don't think, because I don't fucking know. No, I mean, it's gonna be a donkey fest out there. In the late game, especially, I think. Macklin Celebrini has been incredible. So, like, who am I to argue? I forgot I'm sharing screen. But yeah, Macklin's been awesome. That's the first place I'm looking. And I imagine the field will do the same. But let's start things off on the beginning of the slate with the Nashville Predators. They head into Boston. Boston playing at MSG on Monday. They are without Nikita Zadorov in this one. I suspect he will be out on Tuesday as well, given the nature of the injury, but we'll see. He was technically a game time decision. So that's maybe useful information to gather. But otherwise, Boston looking pretty standard. Nashville also looking almost identical to their last game in practice today. Stamkos, Howell, Bunting, Evangelista, O'Reilly, Forsberg, Marchessault, McCarron, Smith, Weisblatt, Yost, and Matthew Wood. Roman Josi leads the way defensively. These other guys are kind of bums. Nick Blankenberg has had his moments, but his time in the sun seems over. So, yeah, it seems like another Stamkos pick a guy from the O'Reilly, Evangelista, Forsberg mix and Josi as a top stack. But, DJ, what are your Nashville takes here?
I mean, I just don't really see any reason to not take the top line and or Stamkos and or Josi. Like, there's really nothing all that interesting. I mean, I guess Marchessault is hopefully continuing to ascend into relevancy again. But this is a pretty good spot, just considering, I guess, there doesn't feel like there's any unbelievably obvious spots, and Boston's been somewhat fraudulent. It's probably Swayman in net, which will most likely, right? Swayman didn't start. Yeah, he didn't start against Rangers. It was Korpisalo. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was Korpisalo. I don't think it really, again, doesn't, more to say that I think people may be fearful to stack Nashville, and I don't really see any reason not to take a team that's kind of rolling against a team on a back-to-back, like not only on a back-to-back, but teams have played a lot of games as of late. Knows Zadorov is, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that like is incredibly impactful, but it means that there's less guys to, murder somebody on your team. So I don't know. I like Nashville fine. I think it's a good starting point. And it's a team that's definitely in the mix, but I'm not going to like war for them. Are you super high on them on this slate?
Yeah, I mean, they feel like a good target early on at the very least. Back-to-back Boston team. I've been relatively high on Nashville, and it does seem like they've been coming through pretty regularly. Mentioned this many times over now because I think Nashville only plays on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but O'Reilly's been awesome. He's not shooting a ton, but he's shooting more than his recent history. And with the points he's gathering, that's going to play. So it's hard to build a stack without him, without Josi. And then Stamkos has just been awesome. So
I honestly, I really wouldn't have an issue either to think like Forsberg, Josi, Stamkos.
No, Zadorov is bad for Nashville, less power plays. Okay,
yeah.
Well,
another way to look at it. I don't know. I mean, on this slate, there are, in the last 5 games, again, I'm just going to go to last 5 for fun. There are only 3 players that have more shots on goal than Forsberg. And then the next player after him is Roman Josi. And over the last 5, a short stint, but like those guys have over 8 attempts per game. And it's very easy to stack around them. And they're playing a back-to-back team that has bled defensively overall of the year. They're getting healthier, but then they lose a guy. So yeah, I like Nashville. I think they're, definitely going to make the mix for me. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Yeah, let's go to Boston. The geeky Lindholm pasta line hit many times over on Monday evening. I'm sure they're not done. The final nail in the coffin is forthcoming. But that line, 19K on this slate. Obviously, Pasternak's been amazing, but as a trio, 36 expected fantasy points and 33 actual. So pretty close to 2x, though it's tougher to one off Pasta in this circumstance because obviously now he's playing with two power play one line mates where it's really hard to see Pasta getting, 3-4 points without one of these guys making good at 5K salary. But it's possible at the very least. Pasta's been one of the best players in the league, regardless of matchup or, back to back or whatever. I don't particularly care. Middlestat Zaka Arvidsson is much cheaper. 11K. They were more owned on Monday night than the top line. And for that 14K, 29 expected and 30 actual. So slightly better value there. But of course, you could always leave off Middlestat and add Pasta and just hope that, Zaka Arvidsson get there in a way that Geeky Lindholm don't, and it saves you a couple thousand. So I like that idea. DJ, you're currently tilting Charlie McAvoy, but he's been pretty good. 5K for him. Not a bad add-on to a stack either, especially if we expect more minutes overall without Zadorov in. I don't think Yoki Haru or Peak are getting peak defensive minutes in the way that Zadorov might have.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't really foresee myself playing Boston with the way Nashville has been playing as of late, but that isn't to say that Nashville hasn't given up plenty of goals. I don't know if I want to say that they're kind of the Ottawa type of team because I don't think they're that good at 5-on-5. So yeah, I think I'm somewhat interested in Boston, but I think I'm just less interested than the price tag, which isn't crazy high, but I just don't know how you don't play Pasternak at 9K. And I just don't know if I'm as excited about that play as I think others in the field might be coming off of a big game. But this game on paper is good, so I think I like the Nashville side a bit more.
Yeah, Nashville on the rainbow chart does have the edge matchup wise, but goals wise, it's been all Boston. Nashville's given it up, and Boston is scoring right now. Meanwhile, it's the opposite at 5-on-5 for Nashville, though Stamkos on the power play is sort of why I would play it anyway. And we talked all about the power play stacks, so I feel like that's a fairly obvious one. All right, LA at Detroit. LA today did practice despite the cancellation of the game, so they just moved their morning skate to a practice, which was nice. We have Kempe, Laferriere, and Perry, Fogle, Byfield, Moore, Fiala, Armia, Kuzmenko, Alex Turcotte out due to injury, and then Malat, Hellenius, Ward. Kopitar skated but was not part of the main practice, so I expect him to be out for at least another game. Probably returns for Buffalo because that's what Buffalo always happens. Horvat came back Saturday. It's a thing. I cannot believe Brandon Hagel did not just score a goal there. Anyway, the top power play: Kempe, Perry, Clark, Fiala, Kuzmenko. No changes. That top line, it's so tilting. Adrian Kempe's, I guess, doing things again. 14.5K for 30 expected DK points. Do you want to take a wild guess how many actual DK points that's turned into over the last 10, DJ? Remember, it's 30 for these guys.
12, 13.
The answer's on the screen. It's 23 per game. It's 23. Just like, this team can't fucking score. So, like, what are we doing? I don't know. The second or the third line, second line, whatever you want to call it, is a little interesting with Armia between Fiala and Kuzmenko because I expect Fiala to also get power play time. Hagel does get his goal somehow. All right. That was an insane power play. I can't believe I just watched it while talking. But LA is out here and they're just going to kill us, aren't they? Oh, by the way, no Joel Edmondson as well. He got hurt. I don't even think he came close to practicing. So I don't think he's an option either Tuesday, which means Jacob Moverare and Brandt Clark are going to play 8 minutes in this game. Are you ready? Are you ready, DJ?
Born and raised ready. I mean, the LA Kings are not going to play a fourth line very much. They are going to have a couple defensemen that don't get a ton of run, and they are going to bleed goals with Doughty and Mikey Anderson on the ice, while Brant Clark does everything possible to, will this team offensively to success. He's expensive, more expensive than I'd like to. What's so funny?
He played 22 minutes last game when Edmondson got hurt, and Doughty played 27.
Yeah, they're idiots. And Clark had 3 blocks, 4 shots, a +2, I believe, with the assist. And just without there for only, goals for, none against. But the Doughty and Mikey Anderson pairing gets, crushed, and they're just like, who cares? Now,
can you just get fired? Oh my God, they won in the shootout. I turned it off before the shootout on Saturday because I don't care about shootouts, and I just want them to lose.
Are
to get
fun.
fucking asshole
why don't
fired.
you like fun? I don't get why you don't like fun. Just
How
like
is
it
it
at some
fun?
point. It is.
You sit there for 3 minutes and wait for them to clear the ice after. Well, I mean, overtime's not even scintillating anymore unless you're Anaheim. But you get some juices flowing, and then you just sit there, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna have 3 guys go, and one of them's gonna be fucking Jeff Malott, I'm sure. Justin Kirkland. Like, these coaches are just like, I don't know. It's
okay. All right.
I don't enjoy it.
I'm just looking at the game and seeing like Edmondson Clark pairing just control all of the shot share, and the Doughty Mikey Anderson pairing getting just bullied by the fucking corpse of the St. Louis Blues. It is what it is. I mean, what are you going to do here, right? If you're going to play the Kings, it's going to be a decent. I mean, again, it's like it's not going to be popular. It's not very expensive. I don't think it's hard to figure out where it comes through. There's really cheap options to go along with it. Like whether you go entire top line, like you said, like it is expected to score more than it's scoring, but that's because LaFerriere and Kempe are shooting a ton, and Corey Perry on the top power play is just going to provide a level of upside at 3,600. Like since he's been back, 4 points in 4 games, and he's playing a big role. He's not a volume guy. I mean, he had 0 shots on goal in the last 3 games, but when he gets those shots, they're going to be in tight. They're going to be really good scoring opportunities. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could talk myself into LA, but I talk myself into LA all the time and lose money. So I probably won't on this slate.
Yeah. Just a quick look at the matchup before we head over to Detroit. Neither side looks excellent, though there's a little bit of shot pace on the LA side. Corsi, I should say. And that always makes me look toward a defenseman. And yeah, Brant Clark. The only possible benefit here is that if Moverare does play, he might literally just be a 6th defenseman who plays 8 minutes, and that would just mean every other guy gets elevated minutes. But fortunately, none of Anderson, Doughty, Dumoulin, or CC are useful. So it's like only Brant Clark at 4,500 who would be useful playing 23 minutes. And so that's like a genuine thing that I think you could tell. Forwards wise, I think I'm good. I hear what you're saying about Perry. I want to play LaFerriere more than anything in this world, but like I just can't do it. So let's move on to Detroit. Practice today for Detroit. We saw the same lineup for them: Casper, Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Kopp, Kane, JVR, Comfort, Finney, Soderblom, Rasmussen, and Appleton. Simon Edvinsson was ruled out till post-Olympic break, so he's missing the next 5 games for them. JBD, Jacob Bernard Docker, skated alongside Mo Sider. Chirot, ASP, Albert Johansson, and Travis Hamonic should round out the lineup. I did see Eric Gustafsson worked in, but I don't think he's going to play. So obviously we'll see. I don't really think it matters, except to say this top line is 15K, and Marco Casper kind of looks like he's back doing things. 33 expected DK points, and it's not all just Larkin and Raymond. And even 32 actual DK points last 10 games, which again, for a 15K line, is about what you're looking for, if not a little bit better. So if you want to be on the fire Jim Hiller train, how about some Detroit action? DJ, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the majority of that game, at least the second half of it, while I was watching Marco Casper try to get 3 shots and bail me out. Yes, would you want to say what was on the screen?
Hiller sent out Fiala 8th one time. Just insane behavior. That's right. I did watch a shootout because I commented that, oh my God, who were the 2 guys that scored in like the second round of a shootout? All right, keep talking. I'm going to find this.
You can look at this. But what I'll say is that line is very clearly doing quite a bit of the offense. And I think it's also worth noting, and you already hinted at it, but there are, 5 really cheap defensemen on this team. It's hard to pick exactly who you might want to go with. Like on one hand, the guy that's doing the most kind of like offense in, when he's out there is certainly Sandin Pellikka and power play too, but he only played 13 minutes. Hamonic, you can definitely, toss it aside. Johansson plays a lot of minutes, but just has no rates. You're really praying for a blocks bonus at minimum salary, but that kind of, with that many minutes and, penalty kill time. Of course, you could take a look. I think the more popular play is going to be Bernard Docker. He's had, back-to-back games with 2 blocks and he's played 18, 19 minutes. And B, he's paired with Mo Sider. So he's going to get some run. I think you could also talk yourself into, if you're stacking the Red Wings, just fucking play Mo Sider. Like, this guy is going to see 28 minutes. He is not coming preloaded with a blocks bonus, but certainly if you, put a gun to my head and said, who is most likely to get a blocks bonus on this slate, I'm not getting very far down the list before I pick Mo Sider. Like, he may be number 1 on that. So
yeah, and I do want to add some context on the JBD thing, because I think you're right. At 2,500 playing 18 minutes, this is not a guy who historically has been as bad as his current profile you see here on screen, where it's 4 expected DK points, 4 actual per game. Obviously, most of that's in a smaller role than, actually might only be in this role because I don't think he played. But in any case, it's a very small sample size. And even this year, he's not been to that level. But before he got to Detroit, in Ottawa, and then my headset just died. I need to plug that in. And where was I? That scared me. It made a noise. JBD is 12% better than the league average defenseman at generating DK points, which is exactly what you're looking for out of a 2,500 defenseman. So that is, I think, the main reason that you would just go to the absolute floor to play Bernard Docker. All right. I'm back in, DJ. I'm sorry if I sounded weird as a result of that, but
I did not hear a change in your voice, which is that concerning?
Great. No, the settings worked as it intended then, but my headset went out and it made a noise in my ears, and then it went like dark because I have like the transparency mode on, and it was very strange. But the microphone still works.
Yeah.
No.
What about Ben Sherratt? Is that just the fanciest of fancy plays?
It's fine. Like, honestly, though, looking at this last game,
but
yeah, if you're giving me 19 minutes of Ben Sherratt in a 5-1 win, or JBD for 18 minutes in a 5-1 win, like, I'm just saving the $700. Like, I don't see a huge difference.
Yeah.
Actually, Sherratt didn't even kill a penalty. Is that even possible? Are they allowed to do that? Why is he on the team if he's not killing penalties?
Bedard Docker.
Hold on. Did he take the penalty? He took the penalty. What a guy.
Who did they send over for him, you think?
Honestly, it might have been JBD.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's tough. It's tough to say. I mean,
the 5-on-6 to end the game, because they scored an empty netter and then they got a fucking Casper goal right after that. DJ, I'm sure you remember quite well.
I do.
To start the empty netter, they had Sider out with JBD, so it wasn't even like mixing in Sherratt for that. So I do believe in JBD's role, honestly, and I believe in him as a player.
All right, we've talked a lot about the Red Wings. Plenty of ways to play them.
Way too much.
What?
But yeah, I prefer the top line over DeBrincat, Cop, Kane. Just the way that Marco Casper has played historically, what we're seeing recently. I want to be on that train before it takes off.
All right. Well, let's take the train into Florida, where the Utah Fighting Utes are going into a back-to-back game, going from Tampa to Florida. Everyone's favorite trip down into a place that I can't even think about right now because it's so cold and it's only in Buffalo. Tonight they had some chances and they did not score. Tomorrow,
No,
they
I
will
believe they also lost Sean Dursey. He took a
Ooh,
pretty
that would be-
nasty hit right at the end of the game. So I want to see. Oh no, okay. He. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was an hour ago, not this one. So I don't know. It looked pretty brutal, like 10 minutes ago. So we'll see. He went right to the room though. And yeah, Dursey's injury history. I don't know.
Sergachev got hurt too?
Sergachev? I don't think so. He was out there punching a dude with 10 seconds left, I thought.
David penalty shot.
They what?
I don't know.
Was it a
No
penalty
word on
shot?
Jersey. That's what someone just posted in the chat, Matt. I am going to look.
Oh,
believe
McDavid.
he's
I thought
holding.
you were talking about Sergachev. Okay. Well, I'm sure McDavid's going to
McDavid.
score and ruin my night.
What about if he got stopped because he's an idiot?
I would be very happy.
Well, good news for you.
Fantastic. Yeah, Sergachev came back. I literally, he played 25 minutes. I don't even know when he could have gone to the locker room, unless, yeah, I don't know. So, Sergachev's fine. I would be very reluctant to trust that Sean Dursey will play. Is my take there, which should make Nate Schmidt jump in back to that power play 2 job. I don't know that we need Nate Schmidt. I mean, I just talked for 3 minutes about JBD. So yeah, it seems like we have enough punts here to not need Nate Schmidt, honestly. But Keller, Schmaltz, Krause, Paterka, Hayton, Boot, Carconi, McBain, Gunther. Does that change coming off of this loss? It could. So keep an eye out, but not a spot that I'm that interested in.
3.6 expected goals against Vasi and just nothing to show for it. I'm not really seeing anything that's jumping off the page to me. It's about exactly as we expected, more or less. So if you want to play a back-to-back team against a Florida team that's looking to get on the resurge, I think that you're getting a little bit fancy. I think you just I'd rather just play Nashville. So not much to add here. Keep an eye on Dursey. Keep an eye on some others. See if anything changes. Let's move on to Florida.
Yep. So Florida just got both Marchand and Kachuk back. So I just wanted to take a look at their recent trends. This is defensively. You see the Florida line, they were pretty bad. They got a little bit better recently. These last few games, they've been excellent. I know they played a pretty high tempo affair in Minnesota, but I believe that was largely penalty driven and not necessarily driven by Florida being like leaky defensively at 5-on-5 or anything. So definitely not a matchup that I want to target on the Utah side on a back-to-back with these new guys making Florida's lineup pretty deep. So let's showcase that Florida lineup. They are rolling Luosterainen, Lundell, Marchand, Sandis, Vilmanis, Bennett, Kachuk, Verhage, Erod, Reinhart, Greer, Schwint, and Samoskevich. This Vilmanis play is a little bit interesting. He played just a standard shift in Chicago. He didn't do anything because he's, Vilmanis, but I think he played like 16 minutes. What are you muttering?
I was going to say because he's Latvian, but that would have.
He's
an Olympian.
Yeah,
I was positive he was.
They are in the Olympics, right?
Yep, winger goes for gold at Winter Olympics. Yahoo Sports. He's playing for Latvia. He's going for gold.
Okay,
that's what the article says. Checkers show support for Vilmanis as winger goes for gold at Winter Olympics.
Yeah, well, what do you think he's going there for, DJ?
I don't know. Not gold. He's not going to win it.
True.
You know what? Okay, but
gosh.
Let's get back on track before we lose our.
Yeah, well, the people. Shams is in the chat. Tony D'Angelo took 7 shots. Phillies cooked. While you got to understand, Ice
Okay.
is in Philly now, and if Tony DeAngelo is going to show up for his boys, he's going to
God.
show up. So
He's done it again, folks. He's done it again. Just when you think Matt couldn't get any funnier, he finds a way. And that's really the bravest thing I've ever heard in my life. Now, anyways, back on track as we go. I'm looking into this Vomanis guy. He had 7 hits last game. I think that's about the size of it. I'm not that interested in this play.
no, he doesn't have anything in the minors that would stand out. He was 20, 21 last year. Didn't do much of anything fun. So, but just interesting because Bennett, Kachuk obviously are standouts. They're the 2 guys on the same line that are power play 1. 13K for the 2 of them. Very obviously, Matthew Kachuk is one of the best fantasy players in the game at 6,500. You just kind of got to trust that he's going to get into the swing of things here. And then obviously Bennett's been on a tear since November, pretty much. It was like he sucked, and then basically as soon as he cost himself the Olympics, he went into postseason Sam Bennett mode. So boomers in the chat.
Boomers in the chat. I mean, Matt, you spoke. Sometimes you speak things into existence. Now, Tony DeAngelo, if I had put my brain on, I would have known to bet him tonight, and I did. Did he score?
Yeah, he fucking scored
I thought
because
he
I bet him
scored.
for a point against the Sabres, and they got shut out. Ooh.
Everything's turning up, Bobby Boom, as always. Exactly.
Yep.
Let's stay on. We are in the 3rd game.
We're having a great
Almost the
time
30
here on this show.
minute mark. I think the moral of the story is I really do like the Florida side. I'm not playing Vomanis. I would just play Bennett, Kachuk, and Reinhardt. I could see myself looking at Balinskis. Is it Balinskis also Latvian? Why do they have so many Latvians on this team? Am I losing my mind? Uvis Balinskis. He is Latvian.
Awesome.
What is
That's
going on
awesome.
with all the Latvians on the Florida Panthers?
I mean, Zemgus is in Tampa. Like,
What? 1, 2,
is it a
3,
Florida thing?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 Olympians. Am I losing my mind? We got to move on. The whole top line is Olympians. If Bennett was, there'd be another, but he's not. Kachuk, Vominis.
Oh, you're talking. I thought you were counting Latvia's team, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, but yeah.
No, I'm saying how many players are Olympians on this team tomorrow is. I mean, and Bennett's not even on the team. Like, not even on Canada.
Not
like,
Sam Bennett.
it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Mikola too. I didn't even think about Mikola.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this team is so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Olympians.
Where are you getting 9?
Well, Lusterrainen is.
Yep.
Lundell is. Marchand is. Valmenis, Kachuk, Forsling.
Oh, Forsling, that's right.
Forsling.
Okay. Yep.
Mikola, Balinskis, Reinhardt.
You're right.
That is.
Bob,
I feel like I had realized this.
Bob would absolutely be there if
Bob
Russia
would be there.
Actually, maybe he wouldn't.
It would be tough to
Right
say.
now, we're going to
healthy.
figure out the Russian goalie system and the Olympics that do not exist for them.
I'm just.
And Sam Bennett should be there, but all right. Whatever. I don't know. I like Bennett Kachuk more than the other 2 lines, but for Higgy, Erod Reinhardt has been legitimately good. So
Balinskis is playing a ton. You could play it.
Yep.
I have a 1 Latvian quota on that lineup, though. Okay, we have to keep. Vegas,
they got shellacked. We do not know what they're going to do with their lineup, so just assume they keep it the same. It's Barbashev, Eichel, Stone, Dorofeyev, Hurdle, Marner, Cole Reinhardt, Tanner Lashinsky, Braden Bowman, Jonas Ronbjorg, Riley Smith, and Keegan Colasar. Defensively, Hannafin with Anderson and Lauzon with Theodore. I don't know anything about Braden McNabb or I'm sure there's other guys hurt on this team, or this team's just terrible. I don't know. But I think I found the problem last game, DJ. I'm not sure if you also spotted a problem But it turns out that having a bottom six full of players that don't belong in the NHL is actually going to get you fucking catapulted out of the Canadian Tire arena. Canadian Tire Center? CTC? Yeah, I think it's the CTC. So here is your beautiful Hockey Viz chart of the game. Just, I mean,
This is the dumbest.
Barbashev,
Does it keep
Eichel, Stone,
happening?
just out here. You know, they're doing their thing. Dorify, Hurdle, Marner. Okay, Hurdle had a rough couple changes, it looks like. And then just the bottom six got teed off on each, giving up 3 goals. Yep.
Absolutely. That is what we call in the big business a shellacking. That is
Sounds about right.
unbelievable. It's
so-
unbelievable. How did you
Fortunately
do
for
that?
them, Montreal doesn't have a ton of depth to be afraid of, though Ottawa doesn't either. So it's the top guys, but they're really expensive. I don't like it one bit. I've been calling this. Vegas has been terrible for a month, and they're getting by on efficiency and their power play, which of course can work for a lot of teams for a long time, but it's not the Mood's way to do things. So I prefer to lose, and for that reason, I'm not playing Vegas.
Yeah, I have no issue in playing Vegas other than the fact that they're incredibly expensive on the road. They've been on the road for a while, but like Eichel is the most expensive player on the slate. And I really don't know how you play this team without Eichel. And then you say, well, all right, what if I play, I don't know, 7,800 Mark Stone? You're just not finding me doing that. Like, it's second line or bust, and I think I'd rather just not do it. But it would be the second line for me, and because I just can't imagine playing Vegas without Jack Eichel. So it's gonna not happen. We can move over to Montreal. I also don't think I'm that interested in Montreal, but I'm more interested in Montreal. Like, I think it's just like the same. Like, I think we're kind of getting back to the Montreal that we knew, and that is a team that isn't driving a ton of. I think it's slowly kind of morphing back into the team that doesn't want to take a ton of shot attempts. And they also relied on the power play against Boston, and they didn't win, but it was all through Cole Caulfield. I mean, the top line is the only line I think that you could. Well, I mean, the second line is still available, but as it continues to come up in price, I get more and more leery. So it's probably top line or bust. Anything you want to add to that?
No. Slavkovsky, Kapanen, and Demidov, the 2 guys on the power play there, Slavkovsky, Demidov, but they've cooled off. So 25 expected DK points, last 10 for that group at 13.7K, 25 actual. It's close, but yeah, not really a matchup that I'm overly excited by. Lane Hudson's wildly expensive at 5,900. So even if you're stacking Montreal, I could see leaving him off and playing Matheson or Dobson instead, who give you a bit more of a floor, blocks and shots wise. So I think that I'm pretty much set on Montreal because, again, I don't see anything depth-wise that I'm interested in either. Texier stays on the top line. I think you mentioned that, though, in practice today.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Winnipeg at New Jersey. The Sadness Bowl, as DJ termed it. Winnipeg should be the same. They practiced today. Connor Scheifele, Iafallo, Perfetti, Taves, Velarde. Nemestikov, Lowry, Niederreiter, Pearson, Barron, Kepke. Unfortunately for Winnipeg, one of these lines has to go up against Cody Glass, Destroyer of Worlds. I think that'll be Perfetti, Taves, Velarde, but they still continue to at least be really cheap. They're 11K for 2 guys on a top power play unit. That doesn't look horrendous currently, which is better than we could say for most of the season. And for that 11K, you get 25 expected DK points and just 21 actual. But even then, still close to 2x given how cheap they are. So I'm not spending the money on Connor Scheifele, Iafallo, but honestly, a 17K Winnipeg one isn't the craziest thing against this New Jersey goaltending. So any thoughts from you on Winnipeg?
God, I mean, I have no issue with playing them, but I'm not like I think I'm more interested in the Devils, which continues to happen, and I continue to lose when I play them. Winnipeg just, God, they're just They are and I know that you'll argue this, that you'll be like, actually, the Taves Velarde line, like yada yada, et cetera, et cetera. They did go to the Connor Scheifele Velarde, trio down the stretch. It didn't work. Somehow those three finished with a -3 altogether. Like Iafallo was I believe just a net negative, like a net nothing, and that line got together and just gave up a ton of chances against because it's not good defensively. We'll see if they make the change. Maybe if that's the case, I'd be interested. I think no matter what, if I was to play Winnipeg, I would play Morrissey. 5,700 is, maybe it feels steep on paper, but I really think he's every bit worth that price tag with his role. Like, I do think he has the triple bonus potential in him if Winnipeg gets there. I just wouldn't leave him off my list. So yeah, I have no problem with Winnipeg, but I like the Devils more, so I just would go that way here. But there's a very clear, concise, quad of players to play, or even a trio if you would. So it's an option.
Yep. On the New Jersey side, we do not have anything new practice-wise or anything. I think they just played in Seattle, so they flew back today, I guess.
And
but yeah, they lost 4-2. They scored twice on the power play, so like the 5-on-5 nature could change. But it was Timo, Jack Hughes, Bratt, Gritsuk, Glass, Haminaho. They played significantly more than Palat, Heischer, Mercer, and that's just because they've literally been playing so well right now. It's hard not to get them on the ice. And then Dodonov, Cotter, Brown. So yeah, Nico Heischer, 6K with cheap line, but like I'm not a big Nico Heischer guy, so I'm good. I don't really want to stack against Winnipeg. I think this game is pretty clearly the dud of the night. So if you want to be brave and play Timo Jack for their expecteds, just don't expect any actuals out of it. Good rule of thumb there. They're at 28 expected last 10 games, 18 actual. It's a little bit unfortunate, but also Timo loves empty calorie shots, and Jack Hughes is still working his way back from a hand injury, which is not very good for the old offense button. So I'm pretty worried.
Yeah, the Dougie Hamilton experience last time out against Seattle was 12 shot attempts, 5 on goal, a goal to assist. I think it's wheels up. That is just like I think it's to the point you could one off it. Like, everything you're saying still leads me to the same conclusion that Dougie Hamilton's an alpha jam, great play. I'm not saying you must have it at 5,100. It's not like it's 4K or something, but I think it's a value, and I don't really think you have to stack it with anything. I even honestly say that, like, I wouldn't call you a moron for playing it with like a cheaper stack, because there are players getting a decent role like Glass and Gritsuk. Like, you could do that. I wouldn't I don't think it's going to play a lot with Dougie Hamilton, but they'll see the ice with him.
Yeah. Like, I love Cody Glass. I've been a long time Cody Glass guy dating back to his Vegas days. So it's been a tough go of things for me, but I would want to see him play on a power play unit in practice before really considering him on a 10-game slate against, a Winnipeg team that I like defensively. So,
all right. Well, we are almost through the 7:00 games, but we have one more to cover. It is the never-ending goodness of the Buffalo Sabres at the Toronto Maple Leafs in a game that I think is just pretty obviously the best we've talked about so far from a goals perspective, and just kind of a, I think a bit more of a donkey perspective. It maybe doesn't look too insane, but I just think it is.
Pretty curious. The slate's not looking too crazy as far as like the expected. There's a little bit, but the actual goals at 5-on-5 at least, the only two matchups that have like an above average pace over the last 10 are Vegas, Montreal, which obviously Vegas giving up a touchdown helps in their most recent game, and then Toronto, Buffalo, where Buffalo continues to score like crazy, and Toronto gave up 6 to Vegas. Is that right?
Is 6-3.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, having that in the old recent game logs is going to help matters there. So just an interesting thought for like overstacking purposes. And this game does stand out in that regard. So tell me about the Buffalo Sabres heading into Toronto, a team that they actually throughout their drought have been pretty good against. It's the darn rest of the league that's been the problem.
Every other team has been the problem. When 31 teams are an issue, yikes. The Sabres continue to be really good. They went to something different than you have up here, and I think will last. They swapped Tuck and Benson. Benson went up to the top line with Tage and Doan, and what happens? But Tage immediately scores. I actually don't remember which line Tuck was with. They ran practice. You should give it a look if you want to play them. But I would be, unless if they didn't change it, but that's what they did last game. But yeah, I'll let you take a peek.
I will look.
I think if that's the case, I'm just riding the coattails of Zach Benson and saying that he is just one of the most impactful players on this team. He is not the first over the boards. He's second over the boards to kill penalties. He is on a power play. He is 3,500. He just makes goals happen around him at all times. So, yeah, he doesn't block a ton of shots, but Benson. I feel like that could be part of his game at some point. The volume isn't great for shooting, but he's just very involved offensively. So I could see myself going to the Benson-Thompson pairing on this. Like, oh, wait, they took off Doan?
No. I'm just updating it.
No,
I didn't see power plays.
It's Benson-Thompson Tuck. Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Otherwise, same shit. Then I don't know. Last game, whatever, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm not seeing any power play work, but I would be surprised if that changed. So, looks like UPL starts, not Lion, but whatever. Who really cares about goalies? Yeah, I think we talked about Noah Ostlund this weekend and Josh Doan. Like this line just feels kind of meh. The second line, so it's pretty much just Tage for me.
Yep.
I don't
want
to play
Darlene?
62.
Any?
Yeah, 6,700 feels like a lot, especially if I'm trying to save my powder for Minnesota, Dallas, Pasta, San Jose. Can't believe I'm saying that, but like I do feel like I want to spend up toward the high end. So I don't know if 6,700 Darlene makes sense, considering I don't think he's been as separating as Tage has for 8,700. So I'm not totally in on Darlene right now at this price, but obviously you can.
There's a lot of cheap defensemen on the Sabres, I think, comparatively to like the upside that feels like it exists, but I don't know if there's any of them that really separate. I feel like at some point Michael Kesselring will jump back into the conversation, but since he's returned, he just hasn't seen a massive role. I tend to think that's because he might just not be 110% at this point, and they're just sort of easing him in a bit. But he is super involved when he's out there, so eventually I'd keep an eye on that. Like, we're only getting 13 minutes right now from him, but that will tick upwards at any point, and it's very easy to change if there's an injury. So I keep an eye on him. I like Darlene. I like Thompson. I like Benson. That's how I probably play it. It's tough to stack the other way and actually build a true game stack because, I just don't see a scenario where you're not building that through Austin Matthews. You can do it, but you're probably taking that at the cost of, you're just playing Matthews, Tage, and a couple pieces around it. The Matthews situation is they kind of change their mind all the time, but last game it was Nyes. Is that going to stick? Well, they didn't score at 5-on-5. They didn't score on the power play. I don't know. They lost 4-1 to Colorado. It just kind of changes every single game. So they can't figure it out. Matthews is starting to click, but he's just not scoring.
They practiced McMahon, Matthews, Domi, Nyes, Tavares, Michelli. So,
thanks.
Yeah, that's what we're getting. I did not see power plays, but I think the second line is fully power play correlated. Nyes, Tavares, Michelli for 13.6K. Unfortunately, they've all been not great. 22 expected DK points into 18 actual. Toronto just isn't scoring. I liken it to everyone just sitting around and waiting for Austin Matthews to do stuff. Morgan Riley took matters into his own hands against Colorado. I think he double bonus in the first 30 minutes of the game. He's 4,100. Also fits the moods criteria. His expected and actuals are dead equal over the last 10 games. 8.20, 8.20 in both respects. Not great, but it's also exactly double his 4,100 price tag. So the autist in me is really liking Morgan Riley here. Just the price continues to fall. You get a nice correlating piece with Matthews, who doesn't suck like Nias, Tavares, Michelli do, apparently. And I know Riley historically has been much better than, the average defenseman, priced around 4K. So I like that mindset.
I don't hate it. I think that, honestly, maybe it's just like Tage, Benson, Riley, Matthews. You kind of capture quite a bit through that if the game gets to where it's going. And like, I don't know. I have no issue with playing McMahon or Domi with it as well. I'm more of a McMahon guy, but Domi is a full 1,000 cheaper. And I don't know if there's just like such an obvious, massive difference in their upside. So,
yeah.
And I said that, but wait,
is
Nice
there even
than
upside?
McMahon?
I don't know.
Nice is 4,400.
He's been fucking
he hasn't
terrible.
I'm looking at it, but
and he doesn't even look like Josh Doan. You watch him play hockey, you're like, yeah, that's a hockey player. You watch Nice play, and you're like, is he okay? Like, is there?
He was hurt. Like he had a lower body injury and like wasn't supposed to play. Remember? And then just played anyways. And like, I don't know, that whatever.
Boy, a hockey player
injury, he's
playing through injury and hurting their team in the process couldn't be.
That doesn't sound right. Well, we have 4 games left, and we're nearing the hour mark that we try to stick to that we never do. So why don't we move over to Chicago at Minnesota in a game that I will probably be sticking my neck out for one side, and it's not the Chicago side. But I don't have an issue with the Chicago side as far as the Connor Bedard of it all. We haven't had the Bedard explosion. I'm certain people won't be playing him here. I just don't think that Bedard is dictated by a matchup. Like, I'm not afraid to play him against anybody. I'm certainly more interested in playing him against the Anaheims of the world, but this guy has, 45, 50-point upside every single night he steps onto the ice. Yeah, it's a tough matchup. I worry about that a bit. It's on the road in Minnesota against Joel Eriksson Ek. I probably won't click it because I'm a gutless coward, but if you clicked it, I wouldn't call you an idiot.
New lines across the board. New everything, new power plays as well for Chicago. Nazar, Bedard, Teravainen, 14.8K for that line. Teravainen on the top unit. Power play wise, Teravainen returns from injury. I think he missed the last 8 or 9 games with injuries, so don't really trust what's on the screen here. Though on the year, he's not been good either, so it's not like that's a total misrepresentation of the way Teravainen's been for fantasy. Next line, Bertuzzi, Dickinson, Mikheyev, Donato, Foligno, Slaggert, and Ryan Green, Oliver Moore, Andre Burakovsky. Of note, Bedard, Teravainen, Bertuzzi, Oliver Moore, and Levshinov were power play 1 in practice, so 2,700 Oliver Moore playing with Burakovsky, who obviously hasn't been very good, but maybe he's getting a little bit unlucky right now. You could see Oliver Moore working in a pinch if you need a pure punt, given power play 1 jobs often don't come that cheap for forwards. That said, and it's against Minnesota. Yeah, true. Yep. I don't have his drafting on here, but I suspect that's just a data feed overall thing. And I don't think. I think he was. Did you say 6th?
6 is in my head, but I could be wrong.
No, I think he was like 30. I don't think he was. I don't think he was a top 10 pick.
Am I that stupid?
Don't make me answer.
Please don't answer that. Please don't do it.
First
round pick
so anyway,
2023 draft.
What'd you say?
Okay. Oh my God, I'm trying to figure it out, and I clicked on Wikipedia, and it didn't give me the answer. And then I
By
clicked
the
on
way-
something else, and it also didn't give me the answer.
We talked about shootouts, and I found the I forgot to mention it. It was the Tampa Chicago game on ESPN that started at 6 local for some reason in Chicago. It was Gage Gonsalves scoring, followed by Louis Crevier scoring in the shootout, and it was round 4.
Oliver Moore was 19th overall. We were right in the middle.
Okay, well,
Anyways,
anyway.
let's get to Minnesota because we don't need that. It's a bad idea. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I think we already know
I
the
actually think
answer,
it's
chat.
The chat, am I cooked? Anyways, let's get to Minnesota, a team that I am going to probably end up with in one of my 2 lineups. I mean, Quinn Hughes is a must if you're playing it. Just don't care. I just don't think you need to overthink it. Like, the guy is unfathomably good. You know, pop that in there. You're sitting pretty. I'm clicking Kirill Kaprizov every time. The guy is on a shooting bender again. That's the type of benders I like. My favorite types of bender. 9.2 shot attempts per game over the last 5. It's just unmatched. You throw that with whoever you want. I don't care. Zuccarello, Hartman. Throw it in, or just play Kaprizov, Quinn Hughes. I don't care. Minnesota. I'm not saying it comes preloaded, but for me, I think it's a preloaded prerequisite. I just don't believe in the Chicago team at all.
Let's see. Florida, Minnesota, their power play had Eriksson Ek back on it. So that
Hartman.
did ultimately change.
Sorry,
so-
Hartman. Just give me Kaprizov, Quinn Hughes. I might just do that, and maybe throw in Zuccarello for 5,200
Rock
for
favor. No.
old times' sake. Hey, you know what? I could lose money. Yeah,
What about
that
winning
3-man
money with
stack
Rock
is-
favor?
it's an option. You could do it. You don't have to, but you could. I think the
Okay.
problem with I don't know. Just do whatever you want. Play Brock Faber if you want to. It's your call.
Brock Faber is going to vacuum up 3 Connor Bedard wrist shots. That's what I can tell you.
I mean, is Bedard being out there against the Eriksson Ek line make the Eriksson Ek line more interesting?
Maybe.
Like,
I mean, it should mean they get the Hughes pair with them.
you would think, right? Like, that's kind of
well,
half
maybe
the point
not.
I'm making.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Last game they did not do that. They used Eriksson Ek with Spurgeon, Middleton. Now it depends. Do you look at
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. What they didn't okay, they didn't really hard but this game had so many penalties as well that I find that hard to really trust matchups wise, because the way the penalties work is obviously you take a penalty, your stars tend to not play. So Kaprizov's first over the boards after the penalty. Well, who just played on the power play? All your good players in Florida. So they're sending out their schlubs, and then it's just vice versa. So I'm not sure that last game's really indicative of how they're going to use this Hughes Faber pair. But in my head, I do think they've been using them as more of the shutdown unit, and that does correlate more with Boldy Eriksson Ek than anything else. So I guess we'll see. We're still learning with everyone healthy what they're going to do. But in any case, the power play, Quinn Hughes plus either of those 2 mini stacks is pretty good between Kaprizov, Zuccarello, or Boldy Eriksson Ek. I will just mention Zuccarello's been pretty good over the last little stretch.
Yeah.
He's back to shooting. He's been productive. So 5,200 for that. He's the cheapest of the power play forwards. I would not hate playing him with Kaprizov. Don't feel like you need to just play Boldy Eriksson Ek with it.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. I don't mind either line. I think it's, Boldy Eriksson Ek. You could still play Quinn Hughes, obviously, with it. Like, the power play is super important. And as we're mentioning, maybe they actually do get more run together than meets the eye. So I like that a lot. We have 3 games left. Some of them more interesting than others. Some spots more interesting than others. So why don't we get over to the Justin Ritzkovian-led Dallas Stars? The revolving door of who's playing with Wyatt Johnston and Mikko Rantanen and who's playing with Jason Robertson and Rupe Hintz is now Justin Ritzkovian's turn on the top line. He'll be with Johnston and Rantanen. He's a guy. I mean, we've talked about him, and it was mainly how do we say his name. But now that we've learned his name, kind of seems like he is maybe better than 2,600. I'm not going to say I'm going to go to go too crazy here, but he shot the puck a little bit. He blocked a couple pucks. Seems like he's a guy ish.
Did he now?
Hit a blocks bonus recently.
Yeah, I mean, seems sustainable. I don't know. It's a joke. I just
What's a joke to you?
The fact that Wyatt Johnson and Mikko Rantanen don't have a single usable line mate on this roster. That's what's a joke, DJ.
No?
Ironically enough, 30 minutes ago, Evander Kane has been given permission to seek a trade via his agent. So, Evander Kane, Wyatt Johnson, Mikko Rantanen, come on down. The Moods approved trade of the year right there. Jim Nill, give him the back-to-back-to-back GM of the Year award. Anyway, it's a pretty classic story of Dallas. Like, you can play these schlubs in the top 6, but like they're more likely to hurt you than to not. I don't particularly view a St. Louis matchup as being good necessarily. 8,400 Jason Robertson, 11.5 expected fantasy points, 13 actual. It's good, but it's not 8,400 good. So I think you got to take a huge leap of faith to get to these prices on these Dallas guys, given their 5-on-5 play has just not been up to snuff. That's really the long and short of it, and that's why Justin Ritzkovian is in the top 6. Like, it's just not something there's not working, and I suspect they will be able to manage to fix it. But yeah, they have a Tyler Seguin-sized hole in the lineup that they still need to fill.
Until their Sagan returns, will he ever? Yeah, I mean, I'm not incredibly interested in Dallas. I think it's just a worse version of Minnesota, albeit a little bit cheaper than what I was talking about with Kaprizov and Quinn Hughes. But I just think the upside's much higher in Minnesota, so I'll probably go that route myself. Jason Robertson is pretty impactful, but I still think I'd go with Wyatt Johnston, Mikko Rantanen, and at that price, you might need a Ritzkovian to make it work. So we move over to a St. Louis team that should take all of 14 seconds. Like, not entirely unplayable as far as how cheap it is, but I mean, what are you thinking your teeth into here?
Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Look at this. Look at this shit. Berggren, Shin, Snuggerud, Fabry, Dvorsky, Joseph, Neighbors, Bushnevich, Kyrou, Toropchenko, Bukestad, Walker. Yes, Neighbors, Bushnevich, Kyrou is effectively a third line. They are priced at $12K. They are all on the power play, seemingly. I don't trust that for a millisecond because they've changed it about once a minute so far this year, but 25 expected DK points for $12K, just 21 actual. The expecteds are kind of there, but my God, if you're stacking St. Louis, seek help. I'm sorry. Washington at Seattle.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah, easy. Yep. Washington at
they
Seattle.
Did weird shit, right? I did not update this whatsoever.
Did Washington do weird shit when they got trounced by Edmonton?
Yeah.
They didn't get trounced, but they expected they did. Protas, Sordiff, Wilson, McMichael, Strome, Leonard, Pavillier, Dowd, Ovi, it looks like to me. But I don't know if they actually practiced. But if they did practice, it could be different. That's basically what they did.
Yeah. Their pregame lineups look the same, and then they got killed, and I don't see a practice. So, whatever. Protas, Sordiff, Wilson is effectively their top line. They are priced at $16K. I don't know if the power play jobs stayed for both Protas and Sordiff, but as of late, they have both been on the power play, which is a saving grace for them. And 30 expected, just 26 actual. Not great. But and then we're looking at Frank, Dowd, Ovi, and it's like, okay, it's Nick Dowd. So next, you could play Ovi in a power play stack, whatever. McMichael, Strome, Leonard is a little bit interesting, but that line's 16K. Like, you're not getting 4K Ryan Leonard and 3,500 McMichael. You're getting 4,600 McMichael and 4,900 Leonard. And I think I just prefer Seattle top line versus this Washington line myself. So, and there's nothing
Washington
in the underlyings.
Yeah,
here.
Washington practiced today. Pierre-Luc Dubois was in a normal jersey. Doesn't sound like he's back. But the reason we don't have lines is because Sandin, Wilson, Waugh, Chisholm all didn't practice. They're all banged up.
Right.
So we didn't get true lines, missing that many guys. But, you just kind of got to keep an eye on if they make any changes. It feels like it's very subject to change. And, Frank, Duhaime, and Lapierre saw like 7 minutes.
Yep.
But I would side with the Strome Leonard situation. I think Michael, like that's just a line I'd play, but I'm probably not going to play it. I actually do think Seattle is somewhat interesting, so we can go over to them. Washington got, pretty. They almost gave up 6 expected goals to Edmonton, and they gave up 6 goals. So it came to pass. I'm not sure if you've heard of this Evan Bouchard guy, but he was, I think, the second player in NHL history to score at 5-on-5, 6-on-5, 5-on-4, and 3-on-3. Get a point at least with a hat trick. Did that all make sense?
Yeah. If you got a point in all
And-
4 of those situations and had a hat trick, I
Yes.
could see that making
The
sense.
only other player to do that was Connor McDavid, not in this game, but it may have seemed that way. So yeah, they got, McDavid played 30 minutes and they gave up a ton of expected goals. That'll happen to you. Now, there's no Connor McDavid on Seattle. I know many people are looking like, well, Matt Beniers is pretty good, but
close.
unfortunately, it's pretty close. There is not a star on this team, but I think there's a lot of pieces that I'm more interested in for cheap. I could be convinced on Matt Beniers being good and being a play on this slate. I could be convinced on Jordan
This is
Everly
not
being
updated.
no. Jordan
Weren't they-
Everly
When did they play last? Oh, they played Sunday. That's right.
just
We didn't
talked
talk
about the game against New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
McKinnon,
I updated this. I don't need to update it, but
Eberle.
I didn't. So
Catton, Stevenson, Tolvanen.
this is all that matters. This top line here is all that matters. I'm
All right,
gonna
that's
stop
fair
you right there. I don't care about Stevenson and friends or whatever. Like,
Schwartz,
Berkeley Catton's
it's
fun,
just a-
but we know he's gonna play 8 minutes and whatever.
a Schwartz
Jared
and
Mc,
Catton swap, yeah.
McCann,
No
Beniers,
power play
Everly.
time.
Correct. Top line is just 14.5K. They have 29 expected and 27 actual. McCann looks pretty good. Beniers is like scoring, which is crazy. The minutes aren't great, but 19 minutes for Beniers is about the ceiling of what you would want. Like, no one's getting 30 minutes on this team, not named Chandler Stevenson anytime soon. But the fourth line, Winterton, Melanson, played 8 minutes. So we're getting close to optimal usage, and they got rewarded for it. So maybe that sticks, though, so be it. Everyone else, I do not care about down the lineup. It's just, Vince Dunn is randomly playing 28 minutes, and then he's back to 19 every other game for the last, 2 weeks. Brandon Montour's back, but let me just check, but I don't think he's been anything special. Oh, God damn it. 13 expected DK points for Montour since his return. 5,500. I don't know. Still no thank you, but.
So I will say that they don't really run a true number 1 power play, number 2 power play. The first over the boards will probably be Beniers, but they both get quite a bit of run and swap pretty fast. That second power play does have a fully correlated line 3, and that line 3 played a decent bit. Like, they are kind of rolling 3 lines, and the one guy that gets out is Berkeley Catton. But that Echo, Wright, Schwartz line did all play 15 minutes, power play 2. It's not great, but it's really, really freaking cheap. I don't know. I mean, is it the dumbest thing in the world? Maybe. But
yeah.
Of the cheap Lions playing against a banged up Washington team on a long West Coast trip, I don't know. I mean, you don't need to do it, so probably just play the first line. But yeah, this is a line.
Oh, man, if we really do just get Shane Wright for 17 minutes for the rest of the year, I'm going to be playing way
Yeah,
too much Shane Wright. But I still don't believe it. So,
well, they're going to trade him. That's the rumor now.
oh, yeah. Got to make him look good by playing 16 minutes. Yeah, Seattle really knows how to juice a guy's value.
Yeah,
All right.
Seattle is bad and stupid. Trade him to Montreal.
Final game.
Anyways,
San Jose at Vancouver. The Donkey Fiesta rolls into town. Macklin Celebrini skating with Colin Graff and Will Smith. Will Smith jumped all the way up to 5,500 on his return from the IR. So that top line is 18.7K. Macklin Celebrini has literally been one of the best fantasy players in the league from an underlying standpoint as well. It's not just the on ice, everything goes in that's elevating him. There's some substance there too, which is crazy. But he's been that good. So everything on the ice is going in still for him, but it doesn't matter because, they're playing Vancouver. So even if that weren't the case, everything's going to go in anyway. Other lines for them in practice today: Regenda, Wenberg, Toffoli, Eklund, Misa, Gaudette, Goodrow, Ostapchuk, and Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves in the lineup is a great thing because we always know he's going to play 6 minutes and then sit his ass on the bench. So we like that. More minutes for the fun guys. Anyone else on San Jose besides Macklin stand out to you?
Yeah, it's Macklin. Yeah, Macklin, Will Smith. Those are the guys. And honestly, I have no problem with playing Colin Graff, but I just think you find the money for Tyler Toffoli and don't get cute with it. Like, Tyler Toffoli is really, really integral on the power play. Vancouver is an absolute mess. We're about to talk about them in a second, but I wouldn't be afraid to overstack this one. Like, Macklin's going to be really popular. There's a decent bit of cheap options to make things work. So if you're going to be a slappy, go be a slappy. Don't just like give it a slap. Give it like 5 slaps and play, Graff, Macklin, Will Smith, Toffoli. And you don't have to play John Klingberg. No one's going to make you. He's 4,100. He's 4K. My mistake. You could do it, but like you don't have to.
Yeah. I would love to know where
thoughts?
these DK points per 60 are coming from John Klingberg, because
he's shooting a little bit.
I don't know. Yeah, we're not seeing it on anything really as of
he's
late.
Just bad. He just isn't.
He's
good. Is his biggest
21% better than the league average defenseman at DK points per 60 on the year. 26% better shot rate and 49% better primary point rate. All of those numbers for a 4K player would usually have us heeing and hawing. So I got to say, John Klingberg.
All right.
I think he's
you
a good
can click
play.
the button.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Yeah, play him. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's talk about Vancouver, because on the other side of this game, a team gets to
Can I just windmill in Will Smith? Just absolute windmill jam. I think he's everything here. I'm so in on Will Smith. The experience. Just gonna keep going back to the well for this kid. I think he's awesome.
If you play Macklin Celebrini and you don't click Will Smith, you failed. You failed the test.
Okay.
The IQ test is a fail. I agree. If you well, let me ask you this: could you one off Will Smith or like play him without Macklin, or they're just a pair?
I think they're just a pair.
Yeah, me too. Okay, perfect.
God, if I played Will Smith and John Klingberg, that's one Macklin Celebrini, though.
I'm going to let you think about this.
What if Macklin only gets 18 points, though?
I don't know what happens.
Like, yeah.
I don't know what happens then. I don't know. If that happens, it happens. Can we move on to the worst team in the league?
We're looking at Winnipeg right now. So please tell me about Winnipeg. Not Winnipeg, Vancouver, the other Canadian team that's hopeless.
The second worst team in the league. Your mistake. So Vancouver at the very end of the game loses Brock Besser, legitimately flying elbow to the head from Brandon Rust, who will probably miss the next game, at least with his suspension. They also lose Steve Buium in that game. He played 15 minutes. I didn't see the injury, although I was watching a lot of that game. But he's on the injured reserve now. So he is out. That will likely, increase the role for guys like Villander if he returns, which he is day to day, but that was an illness, so probably going to play. What?
Just Shams locked in. I literally thought that the second it came out of my mouth. He says,
It's
"Wow, the
funny
Flames
how-
are not one of the 2 worst teams. They're moving up."
Yeah, 3 teams in Western Canada are the 3 worst teams. What are you going to do? Oh, puck to face. I just didn't. I guess I just didn't notice it. I mean, I was kind of flipping back and forth between some stuff. But anyways, back on topic. Villander without sick last game. He has not played a huge role, but without Steve Buium, he's clearly going to take over the top power play. And at 2,800, he is a guy. A guy like Hronik should, I guess, potentially play more minutes. He doesn't do anything, but he's going to play 28 minutes, so that's a guy. I don't know if there's anybody else like Victor Mancini is a guy that has done things in the NHL, like as far as shots and blocks, but I don't know. You definitely don't have to click that button if you don't want to. This team stinks, but they're playing San Jose, so like, could you be like? I think that the one thing that's going to get overlooked is game stacking here, and it just isn't difficult to click Jake DeBrusk.
It's
and
not. I mean, how does he keep doing fantasy things? Is this broken?
I don't know.
Did I break every?
He had 5 shots on goal last game, and he scored.
Yeah, didn't
so
he score? Yeah, he did things. I don't know. Whatever. It's stupid.
Who are they? He only had 15 minutes. Who are they playing? I'm sorry.
Filipino. It's the Filipino show.
Oh,
We're all invited.
Filipino played. Drew O'Connor led forwards in time on ice.
Yeah, he's also close to leading the team in expected fantasy points per game. Like,
what is this team?
It's not good. It's not good, DJ.
What the fuck is this team?
We don't know what the lines are going to be, so they're.
Hito was top power play. No, he wasn't. What the fuck was their top power play? Garland, Buium, Hito, Kane, and Ogren came over the boards. That just is a mistake.
Wait, not Pedersen? So that's not their top power play.
No. But it was with Buium. What happened in this game? I was watching it.
What is this hockey team? Yeah, literally first.
Yeah, so they played the PP2 with the PP1 defenseman, it looked like, is what happened. It just was like in the middle of the game, they went on the power
Pedersen,
play.
DeBrusk, Besser, Carlson, Buium. And then Buium played the entire thing. And then the second unit out was Ogren, Garland, Hedel, Drew O'Connor, and then they got a late. No, they didn't even get anything else late. I don't know why Hockey Viz is tweaking here, but
yeah, it's weird. With Besser coming out, who's going to go in?
Oh, because I have Connor Garland slotting in alongside Hedel at 5-on-5. I think that makes the most sense, but since he's already on that power play unit, or no, he's not. No, he's not. So yeah, I'm guessing it's just Garland in for Besser.
Okay. Oh God,
it just
fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, what really sucks is that we have to figure it out because San Jose remains a very fun team. It's not like they're all of a sudden tightening the screws and playing great defense to get wins. They're just riding an insanely effective goal scoring group and getting enough saves to really make their way up the standings, which is basically like swimming in swimming in the what the hell's it called, the Dead Sea, where you just float. Like, the Western Conference isn't really gonna come and attack the Sharks for that playoff spot. So Vancouver does have one of the best matchups on the slates, which unfortunately means you have to sit here and struggle through us figuring it out on the fly because we don't know shit about anything. So
yeah, I quit. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to see what the fuck this team is doing, because honestly, we could do all this work and then tomorrow they practice and it's gonna be an absolute mess. I like Besser. I like Pedersen. They're really cheap. They're playing San Jose. I really don't have a problem with it. They are, as you're saying, they're not, putting the clamps on anybody. Like, this game could be a cocaine circus. And I would be very interested in full game stacking it with like 6 pieces, because you can do that here and it
Let
isn't
me
even
just
that difficult.
update the stupid.
And what about
Lecker-
Lecker Maki's going to be in.
He's been terrible
what-
this year. Oh my god, what is this? Come on.
He's
Come
Lecker
on.
Maki.
Yeah, no,
He's
I'm
scored
saying
like a
Lecker Maki.
bazillion AHL goals.
Yeah, I know. He gets to the AHL and he's awesome, and then he comes up here and he plays alongside Max Sasson, and they're like, "Well, what is he doing?" Like
I don't know for sure what he's doing, but it's not good.
It's all bad. So you're saying he's been great in the AHL. Let's actually take a trip down memory lane.
I'm looking.
Do you know
right
who's
now.
leading the AHL in points, DJ?
Arthur Kaliev, because I'm looking at it. And John Leonard is tied in goals with him.
But like,
Does that
Kaliev-
help?
No, not really. All right. In 16 games, Lekermaki has 10 goals. In 61 shots. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he's 2,500. If he plays alongside Hedel, I am all the way in. If he's alongside Pedersen, I am tepidly in. Just please do not rule out Vancouver because of San Jose. That is all I can beg of you, our loyal listener. Let's do top stack UT goals.
God, I am going to take such a deep dive into these games that he's played in the AHL. It's going to be truly the biggest waste of my time. I can't wait. I'm going to go with Minnesota 1 being the Zuccarello, Kaprizov, Quinn Hughes situation, which I find to be crazy.
I'm going to go 3-man stack of sadness, agony, and despair.
Okay, good start.
Yep. I will take. I'm going to take Bennett, Kachuk, and Balinskis.
Okay. I love that Zach so much. That is a really, really good call. I mean, we're not going to know until we know, but I think I'm going to just play Lekaramaki, Hedel, and Drew O'Connor, wherever the fuck they do. It won't be Drew O'Connor, actually. Lekaramaki will be in for Drew O'Connor, so Garland, Lekaramaki. Or is it Lekermaki?
Yeah,
What is it
that's
again?
the way the Vancouver broadcaster says it, so I assume he's right.
Yeah, I thought it was Lekaramaki, but I guess that I just doesn't exist. Lekermaki, Hedel, Garland. When that's not the line, just put in Drew O'Connor. It doesn't really fucking matter, but I think that's sort of the way to do it. Or it's Seattle. It's one of the two. I'm not sure, but I think Lekermaki. We know that he has elite goal scoring upside. If he's in the right role, like let's see what it is. But I'm pretty interested. This guy is. I mean, if these rates transition at all, even in some capacity, like we are really cooking with gas.
Okay. I'm gonna be brave. Matthews, Morgan Riley. I don't want to play anyone else here, but since we're stacking, let's just call it Matias Michelli. Make it as cheap as possible. But Matthews is their only functional player. This game should be a 6.5, should be fun. And Morgan Riley, I think, is genuinely an awesome play. And then Michelli, cheap power play exposure to Matthews. Let's just go in on that stack.
I wrote none of this down. So you said
Florida,
last time you said Florida too. So I just saved that. And last time I said Minnesota 1.
Was that Saturday or Thursday?
I don't know. It was Saturday. So we really, really are just playing the hits again. Well, if it didn't work once, now it'll work.
That's what I'm hearing. All right. Guarantee goals.
Saturday. Really hate to see it.
How do we do on guarantee goals Saturday?
I just deleted them, but hold on. You said
you always do that.
Geeky and Raquel. Raquel did not score. I said Forsberg and Duchesne. I
think did Geeky scored and Forsberg scored, right? I don't know. Geeky definitely scored. Geeky definitely scored.
Forsberg
I
did not
remember
score.
Kells.
It was Stamkos and Marcia. So wait, that
Okay.
game was playing while we were. Wait, are you talking about Thursday?
It must be Thursday then. Yeah, it must be
Okay.
Thursday. That doesn't make any sense. Raquel didn't score. Oh, he did score. Wait, Raquel scored.
Forsberg didn't.
Forsberg didn't. That's me. And Geeky didn't score.
No.
He scored the next
Can't
game. Okay.
All right.
I don't remember. Duchesne probably didn't score. We were bad, and we're gonna be good now. So tell me a good
We're
goal
gonna
scorer.
be the best at picking guaranteed goals. Do you have one to lead us off?
I am debating a couple guys, so I will go. I was just about to say Forsberg, and I'm like, wait, am I really just gonna say the same shit I said on Thursday? Can't be doing that. Do I dare take Will Smith from you? Are you taking Will Smith?
That's a shame. Go
Do
for
you
it.
want Will Smith? Do you want him?
I'm letting you go first, DJ.
All right, I'll take Will Smith. Fuck you.
Okay. I am gonna go. Oof. Ouch. Just missed the 11K threshold, by the way. If you're new here, is what we're working toward. I'm gonna go. Can you play? No, you can't. Okay. Nope, that doesn't work either. Uh-oh. We're getting to the point where I'm completely stalled out.
I could take Jared McCann off the board if that will help you.
That would be very helpful.
I'll take Jared McCann, top line, top power play. Both his line mates scored last game. I bet Jared McCann to score because I am a alpha, and I was like, that line's going to score 2 goals. And they did, but it wasn't him. So I don't think this is a revenge narrative at all, unfortunately, but you know what? I can live.
All right. Welcome back to Mr. Jonathan Marchessault. He's been back for 4 games, 13, 14, 16, 17 minutes, scored in the last 2 games, 3,700, Jonathan Marchessault. My first guaranteed goal, that leaves me with 7,300 left to play. I am going to take Cole Caulfield, 6,900, guaranteed goal against the Vegas Golden Knights, continuing his anti-America revenge tour as he punishes Bill Guerin for not bringing him to the Olympics. By the way, this kid has 8 goals in the last 5 games. Pretty good stuff out of Cole Caulfield.
It's more than I make in a year. Who was your second guy? Did you pick it yet? Did I just miss it?
Marchessault.
So you, okay. You know what? I like it. I'm not even going to get mad. You picked a Quebec guy and a Quebec favorite. I don't even understand what this means. Okay. Bobby, I'm never going to be able to keep up with you on this. I don't even know what that means, what you just said. So I'm gonna give it to you. Enjoy your night. I hope you do well with. Okay, I will take your word for it. That is certainly a possibility. Let's get out of here. I guess we are at the hour and 33-minute mark. I will now be. I don't know. I guess it's just bedtime here in Buffalo, in the coldest and most depressing area in the world with the best hockey team.
The greatest hockey team. All right. I'm going to go finish up some losses for the Monday slate. Looking forward to the Tuesday slate. If you are also looking forward to the Tuesday slate, remember the $25 queue is in the lobby. Make sure you get in there if you have tickets. Don't know how long it'll last. It could overlay. It could fill tomorrow morning. I don't know. The 360 is also out there. If you ever want to win 6 figures playing NHL DFS, today's your only chance, probably for the rest of the year. And if you
really
play
I was going to say that really should have been the title of the video, not whatever nonsense I put up.
Okay.
I made 6 figures playing NHL Daily Fantasy. That being the clickbait.
Yeah, and I spent 7 figures to do so. That's and if you play that contest, I will be reviewing it on my newsletter, moods.beehive.com. The last couple weeks, I've been posting Friday slate previews as well, so that should continue this Friday. They're always good. They're always fun. I enjoy writing about the league as a whole, and they're certainly better than these stupid podcasts. These podcasts suck. I don't know why anyone listens to us blabber on for
Take it easy, man.
95 minutes. But in any case, that'll do it from us. Thank you all for listening. From Doug, from DJ, from myself, have a good spinorama, everybody, and we will see you.
You're saying they're looking like an idiot.
Well, is that any different than normal?
This is the first time I will admit was unbelievably wrong.